frosted glass.
Hey gang, welcome back to Death Curse Society. We're back with a whole new episode about all kinds of stuff in the horror world that you guys want to talk about. I'm your host, Red Crank. I got the Colonel, and I got Zigzag with me tonight. Woo! Woo! Let's get started. Let's go camping, everybody.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
All right, the big topic for Let's Go Camping this time around is The Walking Dead, of course. We've got 4 episodes under the belt now that they've released. We're going to chat about those a little bit. Colonel, why don't you give us a little recap of episodes 9 through 12?
We start off episode 9 with Judith Lake and Negan escape. That's about the highlight of that. They bring back Alpha's daughter. Then, episode 10, we have the backstory to Alpha and her daughter. Once you wake up from that episode, we get into episode 11, where Alpha arrives with the Whisperers to do a hostage trade. Then, once we get into episode 12, my goodness, it finally starts getting good. Really good. You know that means a lot coming from me, guys, because I hate on this show every fucking week. So hopefully, from here on out, we got some good momentum built up, and it just keeps on rolling. But now it's time to get into the dirty details.
Yeah, like we've talked about before, it did seem to kind of start out a little slow. We've talked about the peaks and valleys of the storyline of The Walking Dead. There seems to be a little bit of action and a whole lot of exposition. That's their trend. That's the way it's been for the last several years. I like where they're going right now. Just keep it up there. Keep it going that way and rattle it off for the rest of the season. That's what I'm hoping. Let's talk about Alpha a little bit. How have you guys liked the range of Alpha, where she started and where she's at now? Let's start with Zag on this.
Alpha, coming into it, and they've really been blowing up the Whisperers the whole time for years now. We've been waiting to see them, and okay, you know what? You've officially overhyped it. When they finally show up, that's what we get. I was very underwhelmed with what we got. Now, having said that, this last episode does give them a few more points up that chart of bastards, and just, horrid people and villains, I guess is what I'm getting at. But still, at this point, I can't put her ahead of Negan, and certainly, probably not even the governor at this point. I'm watching, but right now, yeah, she's pulling third.
So, Colonel, do you agree with that? That brings up an interesting point. Do you rank them maybe like Negan, the governor, and then Alpha as a third villain?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I kind of like the governor more as a villain, but I can see why I still put Negan number 1. I just found the governor a little more exciting because it was new, where Negan's just a badass. Like, I fucking hated the governor. Negan was my dude. Hell yeah. So, but I still put Negan number 1. I'll go with Zag.
I didn't like the way they brought Alpha into the story, to be honest with you. Like, kind of like you guys. I like the way she came in, but then it's like, boom, drag for a while. We haven't seen a whole lot from Beta yet, but 13 seems to emphasize some kind of conflict between him and Daryl, which looks to be good, and I'm excited to see that. Are you guys excited to see Beta at all in action?
Oh, well, fuck yeah.
He's a big hulking guy, Look, we need to get Daryl, if he's ascending to the leadership role, he's got to do something heroic. This is just textbook for me.
No, well, fuck yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like you said, that's a big motherfucker, dude. And with the beard hanging out from the mask, I'm like, I bet that's fucking Mick Foley under that shit. He just lost some pounds, man, got back in shape. Something. But yeah, also like Zach said, Daryl has to do something. Fucking step up, do some shit.
Yeah, I like Beta's mask, because it's only like half up, and then he's got his own beard under there. I think that's kind of a neat look for him. Let's go back a little bit, and I think Colonel already brought it up he brought it up in the recap, but let's talk about that Negan and Judith connection. I thought that was kind of neat. That's the backstory I'm the most interested in. They seem like a pretty tight-knit duo. Colonel, I have a little bit on that.
Yeah, the pairing makes sense, really. We'll exclude the Carl stuff and just go with what we have here. I mean, Judith touched on it last episode. He listens to me. He's in prison. Who's he talking to? He's talking to a fucking 8-year-old. He has no one else to bond with or talk to.
Right.
And she's really pulling the humanity back out of him that we've seen in previous episodes that just never quite came out. Carl almost had him human again. And then, so I'm really looking forward to it and seeing how Judith's going to talk Michonne into letting him out. Because obviously with her character leaving the show soon, she has to be replaced by somebody. Might as well be fucking Negan.
Yeah, Negan's always been interesting as a character anyway. I mean, like, I dug it when he was walking around getting his jacket and everything. I mean, that was a whole lot of nothing. But you know what? It was still cool. It was still neat. It was something different. Mm-hmm. You know, and as far as the connection with Judith, it's definitely a nod to the comic books, and these are few and far between anymore in this show. So, I mean, it had to happen. It was Carl in the comics, obviously, but now, you know, she's taken the place, and, you know, hey, I'm okay with it because it does kind of unite that comic and this series, although be it, you know, it's kind of just a passing wink anymore, but hey, it is, like you said, Frank, one of the more fascinating lines, and I think people like us, and a lot more of them out there, are vested into these characters, these two particularly, and this storyline.
Yeah, honestly, they're almost the last two I really care about. Most of these new ones I'm just not connecting with yet. And
Michonne's leaving, so I'm out.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he's always been one of those actors that just gets your attention. He could be sitting there, you know, making a sandwich, and you're just paying attention to everything he's doing, or clubbing a couple of people over the head with a bat, you know. And you just want to watch what he's doing. He's that good of an actor, and I've always enjoyed him in pretty much anything he's done. Do you like the fact that Negan escaped for a little bit and came back and was just, go ahead, lock me up, nothing's out there for me?
Yeah, it's cool because we don't know what his plan is, and that's what's cool about it. I mean, but as, we talked about before, the visions and stuff that Rick were having, and, there were clear pictures like Negan joining the community and everything working out and everything being, hunky-dory, and, or is he there to just completely gut Alexandria finally once and for all? And it doesn't matter. I mean, I hope he stays with the show a couple of more seasons. And, if he's the hero, he becomes a secondary hero. He becomes the new Daryl in a way to the real Daryl, as the leader. That would be cool watching those guys kick some ass, wouldn't it? I think so.
But it's also going to take a while for Daryl to trust him enough to fight side by side with him.
It'll have to be an Anakin Kenobi type battle, I think. Hopefully not as, fatal on the, appendages with lightsabers and whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? Just have it out, man. Let's get this shit shaken out, and then we can hug it out at the end, bitch.
All he has to do is give Daryl a peace offering, a can of fucking Alpo dog food. All good.
All right, so what's next? What's next for The Walking Dead? You guys got any predictions on this? Colonel, you want to jump in? Where are we going with the last few episodes here?
Last few episodes. I can't give you the specifics because I'm kind of not really sure. I just know how it's going to play out. We're going to have a battle. It's going to build up. Then we have to wait till October to find out.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned a few times, and it's been slight and not too direct at this point, but they keep mentioning the fair. And that's kind of a huge deal in the books, and some horrible shit happens there. But
yes, it does.
It's way off from because some of the characters that are involved in that don't exist anymore in this show. So, but it does seem they're going to do something with the fair. I think that'll be probably what the finale is, like Colonel said, but that's, expect some horrible shit.
I think the fair is going to be part of the season finale this year. And in the fair, in the books, spoiler alert, by the way, anyone out there listening or watching, in the books, that's where we lose Ezekiel. King Ezekiel dies in the fair in the books. And he has said he's leaving the show as well. Now, I don't know if he's leaving this season or if he's leaving next season, but he's not going to be with them much longer. I expect Ezekiel to be killed off some point, maybe in the fair. I even expect at least one other mid-major character to lose it. I haven't figured out who yet, but we're going to have our predictions on that in a couple weeks before the season finale.
I'm with you guys. I expect fucking all hell to break loose. And if Ezekiel does die, good. I mean, I'm not really sold on the character. I never really got into him, so like, whatever. I'm one of those few people that's happy to see Glenn die. He was fucking annoying.
I don't mind Ezekiel too much. He brings a different view to the world, and I kind of like that, you know. Everyone else is so dark and dismal and just down on what this world has become, and Ezekiel has kind of found a way to spark joy, if you will, with some of his people and give them something to fight for, which is kind of a different way of looking at things. And the one shining point that really comes from King Ezekiel's storyline, Jerry. Jerry has easily become my favorite character on the show now, just because he does some of the weirdest, goofy shit and has some of the best lines in the entire show. We're going to the fair, folks. Well, that's going to wrap it up for Let's Go Camping and our discussion on The Walking Dead. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back right after this. Stick around!
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Hi, it's Kane Hodder. You're listening to Death Curse Society. Keep listening, or don't fucking listen. I don't care.
Welcome back to Death Curse Society. We got a lot to talk about here in Stories Around the Campfire.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hey, come back, come back.
All right, our first topic on Stories Around the Campfire this time around is there's a new trailer out for a documentary on the original, the 1990 miniseries of It, based on Stephen King's book. It's called Pennywise, the Story of It. The trailer is pretty long. It's about 6.5 minutes. We're not going to show the whole thing here. There's also going to be a link in the description of the YouTube video below. Check it out. Click on that. Go check that trailer out. We're going to chat a little bit about it. Guys, what do you think about this? Let's start with Colonel on this.
Hey, man, I love the behind-the-scenes shit. I think it looks awesome. I love documentaries. I'm hoping it's as in-depth as, say, Chris Lake Memories or maybe Never Sleep Again, along those lines. Hopefully not as long. So I'll be honest with you guys, I love Chris Lake Memories, but sometimes I'll turn it on just to go to sleep. Because there's no way I'm making it 6 hours through that motherfucker.
No shit, right?
In one sitting. But yeah, I mean, it looks fucking awesome, dude. It got them, everybody who's still around alive, I should say at least. Everybody's there. It was nice to see Tim Curry. Great, one of the great character actors we've ever seen. This ugly mug enjoys fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, and he pulled off fucking lingerie very well. Like, I can never do that. It'd be kind of gross. I might do that for you guys one episode, though.
Please, no. We don't need that. We don't need that.
I guarantee viewership will go up 10%.
I'm not sure those are the kind of viewers we want.
Yeah, we're not aiming at the pedophiles, man. Come on now. We're not aiming at the furries either.
That's more accurate.
Damn.
You big huggable bear, you.
I like the interviews. I like watching people recollect on the time when they made that, and talking about where they were as an actor or a person and where they are now. And it looks like they've got, like you said, they got everybody, including Tim Curry. He's been in failing health for the last several years. The last thing I saw him in was maybe like 8 or 9, maybe 10 years ago. He did a little guest arc on Psych. It was good to see him in that, but it was very small. He wasn't in much of the show at all. But yeah, it was good to see him talking about it and even doing the little tagline at the end of the trailer. That was great. He's not quite all there, but it's good to see him before, we're going to lose him at some point, and probably sooner than later. Good to see him get one more splash on camera before that happens. Zag, talk to us a little bit more about what you liked about this trailer.
Totally agree. A huge fan of these kind of nostalgia pieces where they go behind the scenes of something I dug anyway. This was an epic event when this went down. I mean, I think it was, 92, 91? It was
1990, but it was a 2-night event. I remember that on
2 nights, right.
Yeah.
And it was cool, though, man. I mean, obviously the movie is doing a much better job in laying it out there, but this was, for the time, this definitely was like, it was accepted. We, as the horror fans, I embraced it back then. I remember digging it. But to see that now behind the scenes and the shit they did, the fucking clothes they were wearing and everything, the haircuts, it's fucking hilarious, So just for that alone, it's worth a look. But if you're any kind of fan of Stephen King's work or that particular piece that ran back then, highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, whatever the fuck. It's great. It was good. I didn't, didn't get bored at all. Did not get bored at all.
Well, and you brought up an interesting point with the latest movies doing kind of a better job of telling the book story now than this miniseries did back then. Obviously a big reason for that is they couldn't get away with a whole lot in 1990 on television.
True.
When we weren't obviously doing this show back in 1990, but I remember thinking when I saw that they were bringing it to TV, shut up. I remember when I read, probably in TV Guide, if anybody actually remembers that book, I remember reading about it coming to television. I was like, that's not going to work.
Not going to work.
I don't know how that's going to work, because I had read the book. I was like, no, you can't do 80% of what is on there on TV. And they pulled it off with some, trickeration on the cameras and stuff. And they even did some stuff that kind of pushed the envelope a little bit on television. So
sure,
it was good for the time. But
let's face it, though. I mean, it's all about Tim Curry and his portrayal of Pennywise, and that is why it's memorable to see. It is sad to see him in the shape he's in.
Well, and definitely people remember the 1990 movie for Tim Curry. I doubt there's very many people out there, if any, that are grabbing the DVD of the 1990 version and going, man, you got to see this guy Harry Anderson in this movie. He's great. He is great. He was the guy in Night Court. No.
What about John Boy?
Or John, you got John Ritter. You got John Boy in there. You got Tim Reed. Tim Reed from WKRP. I know we've talked about this before, but that show was basically put together to show that sitcom actors could be dramatic at that time. And I don't think most of them pulled it off. I think the only one that really went on after that to have any kind of dramatic career was John Ritter. You hardly ever saw Harry Anderson again. Tim Reed pops up like every 5 years in something and is just like, hey, guys, remember me?
And you're always all like, hey, there's that guy. I remember him.
And he still plays, basically, I mean, I hate to say it, he still plays the token black guy in most shows that he pops up in anymore. And that's not a slight, that's just an observation, and that's what happens. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like these guys are looking forward to it. We hope you, the viewers, are looking forward to it. Give Tim Curry some love, ladies and gentlemen. Not the lingerie, Rocky Horror kind of love, though. That would be, we'll save that for Colonel.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. If that's you, go do you. We don't give a fuck.
Do you, boo-boo?
Yeah.
I'm going to look at him like, try to run away, Tim. Oh, you can't. You'll float too.
All right, next up on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to talk a little bit more about what we've learned recently about the Lost Boys series that's coming to the CW. It's got a pilot order, it's got a director, it's got some cast members. If you guys don't want to see us angry, this might be the point you skip ahead or turn off, because none of this news is really good. I'm going to save Colonel for later on this because I know he's really going to rip into it. Let's see what Zag thinks about some of this. Let's start with, I don't know, the director they chose. Catherine Hardwicke is going to be directing the pilot. If you guys don't know who Catherine Hardwicke is, Twilight director. Let's start with Zag. Talk to us about this.
You know, that pretty much says it all right there. I could stop right there, and any, self-respecting horror fan will get up and, go make a sandwich or take a shit or something at this point. But I got more. Twilight director. Great. That's just what we want with one of our sacred properties, The Lost Boys, one of our favorite vampire movies. Listen. We're all for remakes, okay? We don't have a problem with properties getting remade, but we kind of have a thing we say around here. And when the kind of thing comes up, boys, help me out here. 1, 2, 3. Don't fuck it up.
I fucked it up.
You fucked it up.
We fucked it up. Yeah, I was thinking what Colonel did. Suck a dick.
Suck a dick. Okay, we want to go that way. I can do that too, but I mean. I don't fuck it up comes up a lot, so. Okay, that was pathetic. Let's just move along. Don't fuck it up. That's where we go with this. Now here you go. You've already done something wrong here. You've casted the Frog Brothers as the Frog Sisters. Initially, I heard this and I thought, okay, if it's the daughters of one of the Frog Brothers, I might be able to get my head around that, but you know what? I'm not even going to give you the credit anymore. I give up on it. The Twilight director thing kind of pushes me over the edge. I have no faith in this whole thing anymore. It'll probably be the biggest fucking thing since sliced bread because, all the teeny boppers will get on it because it'll be Lost Boys with sparkles. And it's going to have nothing to do with the fucking movies we love, the characters we love. And, wipe your ass with it and move on because I think this is going to be a complete fucking train wreck.
When they first announced this a couple months ago coming out, I was excited a little bit. I was intrigued. And then more news started leaking out, like the Catherine Hardwicke, like the Frog Sisters, like some of the other cast members, none of which I've really heard anything about. I don't know any of these people. Most of them have been in, like you said, the teeny bopper stuff, like the Teen Wolf on MTV and the Scream remake that was on MTV. So it sounds like they're going the MTV sparkly, lame vampire route. And one of the character descriptions that I read even said something about this character is madly in love with one of these other characters. That character description does not remind me of the Lost Boys that I remember. Just doesn't. Colonel, jump in here. I know you're going to
Put a bow on this thing, Colonel. Come on now.
All right.
Tell us what you really think.
Oh, Oh, yes. Now I'm ready.
Okay. I've been going with, if you have something negative to say, you have to have something positive to say. So let me start off with the positive, because I have one positive to say about this. CW is going the route of CW. I'm not surprised by any of this. Not at all. But if you want to take a classic vampire film like The Lost Boys and turn it into a fucking Twilight episode, you, miss, can direct these nuts over your mouth. This is fucking ridiculous, man. And then to go back to what Crank said, the character's madly in love. Yeah. Okay, Michael was madly in love with Star. I get that. That's why he was doing the shit. But was he in love or was he just trying to chase pussy? He was trying to chase fucking pussy. And the Frog Sisters? Okay, all right. Yeah, I'd actually almost be okay with that.
At this point in the video, Colonel snapped. If you can't tell by the looks on the faces of Zigzag and Red Crank, it was pretty bad. Bad, Colonel. Bad. We even had to leave the room. Ugh. Anyway, can't tell you what he said here, but it was rough. We now return you to regular programming.
So besides her directing my fucking nuts in her mouth, then we have the Frog Sisters. The Frog Sisters. Is it necessarily do a gender swap on those characters? I have a hard time believing these teenage girls that you're never going to be fucking dolled up to look like an adult like all this other shit. It's going to believe in vampires and run a fucking comic book shop. Oh, wait a minute. They'll probably work at fucking Bath and Body Works or some stupid shit like this and not know what the fuck they're talking about. Just... I got to take a breather. I'm about to get going. Sorry, guys. So we have the Twilight director. We have the fucking Frog Sisters. What are we going to have next? A fucking non-saxophone playing guy on the beach? Just fucking get the swole on? What the fuck, man? If he ain't playing the sax, why do you want to fucking watch it?
And he better have his shirt off. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he better have his goddamn shirt off. The only thing they're probably going to keep from the original is that fucking gay-ass Rob Lowe poster. That Corey Haim had in his room. I still don't understand why I was in his fucking room.
You know what?
I have an idea.
I want him to stop talking. He's ruining the movie for me.
No, fuck you. I'm done. The glass is going back on. I'm fucking pissed. Fucking Twilight. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is going to be god-awful. Fucking terrible. There's going to be one bright thing to it and might help the next generation horror fans.
Yeah, but they're going to be all Twilight-y horror
They
fans.
already fucking were, man. My God.
That's what irritates me.
I know.
It sucks, man, because at an initial announcement of this thing, you're looking at it and going, a Lost Boys TV series, and you're like, wow, man, you think Ash versus Evil Dead? You think The Walking Dead? You think, I mean, been some good ones made. That there's no reason why this couldn't be that, and deliver on an adult level without the sparkles and the fucking love triangles that, distract from, blood sucking and killing and stuff like that. That, the story that we wanted to see. I mean, hey, The Lost Boys is a love story. Let's face it. Joel Schumacher had a way of telling a story, you know what I mean? I just don't know if this can sustain, beyond a season or two. I mean, they'll cram it down our throats. I get it. I won't watch one episode. Yeah, that's not true. I'll give it the first one just so I can totally come on here and mock the shit out of it. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the first one and see what happens from there. But yeah, from the looks of it and from the sound of things that are coming out in the news already, I'm not excited about it anymore. In fact, I doubt we even cover this until it is about to debut or comes back or actually does debut again. Because I don't expect any more. I don't expect any good news to come from the next several months before this thing debuts.
Three words, gentlemen. 3 words to remember. The Vampire Diaries. When my niece was a teenager, she loved that fucking show. Hey, watch the show with me. It has vampires in it. I think you'll like it. It was fucking terrible. It was made for teenage girls. So they're taking the Lost Boys and making it for teenage girls. Fuck.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah. And I'm done. I'm lost on the Lost Boys, basically.
I hope these girls enjoy their show. I really do. I hope they fucking like it. I'm not going to hate on them for whatever. But you're just killing a classic, loved horror film. I don't want to say franchise because the sequels are kind of shit. But the original is fucking loved in the horror community.
Oh, yeah.
I hope these girls enjoy their shit show.
I would say The Lost Boys is probably in a lot of people's top 10 best horror movies.
I said nothing.
Not higher.
I said nothing about the sequels in my little soliloquy. And I'll also say this, motherfuckers. Remember where the disposable income's coming from, you people making these shows. We might have the daughters, but the money's over here. Son of a bitch.
You guys might have to put the parental control on the CW whenever that comes on. No, I'm not letting you watch this.
You're going to watch The Exorcist. You're going to like it.
I have standards. You're not watching this. Let's watch some Nightmare on Elm Street instead.
Yeah, Fright Night. You want vampires?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You want a teenage vampire flick? There you go, man.
Boom.
Well, here's one last thing I'll say about this that I find kind of ironic. There's been this meme floating around for 10 or 15 years of David, played by Kiefer Sutherland in the original Lost Boys, where it says something like, yeah, I remember a time when vampires didn't sparkle, you know, and basically calls the Twilight vampires pussies, you know. There's many variations on this meme that's out there. Now, looks like 2019, later in the year, or even 2020, maybe when the show comes out, they are going to sparkle. What? Sorry, Kiefer Sutherland, you're wrong. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Are we done with this?
Yeah.
All right.
Please.
All right, maybe one last thing. Maybe they won't sparkle. They could shimmer. Fuck you. I'm done.
All right. Fuck your sparkling. Fuck your shimmering. We're moving on.
We give the Lost Boys show the finger.
All right, next on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to talk a little bit about the new trailer that just dropped for What the fuck? What is this?
We got a show going on. Oh, my God, I forgot. Woo! Well, hello.
Holy. What up, Molly?
Hello.
How are we doing today?
We're doing. We're a little tired, but what do we got going on here?
All right.
What are we talking about?
We're getting ready to check out the new trailer for Midsommar from Ari Aster. So watch this, and we're going to talk about it right after this.
Oh.
Christian says that you've got some special thing planned.
Yeah, it's like a crazy 9-day festival. It only happens every 90 years.
Hi. Hello. There you are. You can't speak. You can't move. But this opens you up to the influence. And it breaks down your defenses. Trust me. All right? You're gonna love it.
All righty, gang. That's the trailer for the new movie coming out later this year, Midsommar, from director Ari Aster. If you remember, last year he directed my favorite horror movie of last year, Hereditary. Let's talk with Molly on this. Get him in on the conversation. Tell us what you think about this trailer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess all I really get from that was it's like some sacrificial thing they don't do very often. And then, I don't know, look like some guts there on the table. So maybe some cannibalism or feasting upon somebody's ass. I don't know. I didn't really give away a whole lot. Maybe some, I don't know, possible inbred action. I don't know. It was just a lot of light and weird shit going on, but
yeah, I agree with you, Molly. It looks like it looks too lit to me.
A lot of light.
It was very bright of a trailer, but that may be that's probably an artistic choice in my guesstimation. His last movie was very dark. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that was going on in the background that you could barely see, even in the movie theater. So this one is a completely 180 turnaround from that. I'm curious about it. And like I said when we talked about Hereditary earlier this year, I like his style, so I'm interested in it. even though you guys might not be too keen on it. Colonel, you want to jump in on this trailer?
Yeah, I mean, that trailer was awfully white.
Yes.
You guys are saying light, but let's be honest, it's awfully fucking white. The clothes, the characters, the Viking room that they're spreading blood on. What are you trying to say? Like, what are they doing? So, yeah, exactly. I'm expecting some fucking crazy old Celtic fucking ritual type shit going on. It's going to be fucking nuts, man. Has to be if you're going to have the trailer, like you said, that bright. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, man? I thought it was a fucking Hitler commercial. All the blonde hair and blue eyes. I was like, Jesus Christ, guys, it's fucking 2019, man. What the hell's going on?
Ziggy, get in here on this.
You know, movies like this, it always makes me, it's M. Night Shyamalanian type stuff, you know what I mean? Really strange. But this director he pushes that disturbing envelope, which is cool at least for that. But it really makes you feel weird watching it, doesn't it? I mean, the whole thing, you're right, white and bright and fuzzy, and you know, almost like the Vaseline lens on it and shit, you know. Is it supernatural, or is it just, you know, another closed off from society little community that does it their own way kind of shit, you know, and they're fine with it because that's all they know? I mean, you know, I don't know. You have to go see it just based on how good Hereditary was. You know, it's a good trailer, but doesn't really give you anything. It's just weird. You know?
Yeah, and that's one of the things I want to talk about with this. I'm glad you said that, because we talk all the time about trailers giving away too much. This one doesn't really tell us anything. And for me, it's got me more interested. Like, all right, now my speculation meter is going off the tracks, trying to figure out what it could be. When most trailers, you know, you're 10 seconds into the trailer and you have the rest of the movie figured out. So that's what really piqued my interest about it with me is I've seen this trailer a few times now. I still have no idea really what to expect. I mean, all I can get is this woman is brought into almost a cult-like atmosphere, and it's her learning about what's going on in this group. And like you said, based on Hereditary, I want to see it. His directing style to me reminds me a lot of David Lynch in a way. Just mysterious. Nothing, not a whole lot doesn't really get explained. It's left to your imagination, and that's kind of the stuff I liked about Lynch's, especially Lynch's early work. I want to see more though. I want to see more trailers like this.
Something different.
Yes. All right. Next on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to talk a little bit about a horror convention coming to Cincinnati. If you guys are in the area, HorrorHound is taking place March 15th through the 17th. And the DCS is invading. So we got Zag and we got Colonel are going to be in town all weekend checking things out. Zag, tell them a little bit about where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing.
Cincinnati, baby. Are you ready? We're coming down. We got lots of things to do, and the main thing we want to do is bring the Cincinnati HorrorHound to anybody that can't really be down there. So we got panels we're going to be getting. We're going to record for you. We got Pet Cemetery. We got Halloween. We got the Craft Reunion. We got American Horror Story. And, man, you don't know who we're going to run into and pop on the air with. Colonel, tell them. Oh, shit.
Oh, there's so much going on, guys. Your hometown hero, the Colonel, is going to show the world what Cincinnati's all about. We're going to cover the independent film creating a lot of buzz right now, starring Tony Todd and PJ Souls, Candy Corn. We're going to be out there. We're going to be out there mixing it with you folks. We're going to be doing trivia questions. Win yourself a sexy, nice shirt that Crank's wearing for free. Come interact with us. Talk with us. Whoa. Sit down with me over a plate of chili. We'll eat some fucking 3-ways and some conies. We'll have a good time. It's going to be fucking awesome, man. I'm telling you, you guys are going to stay with us all weekend long on all of our social media platforms to get exclusive content that you're only going to find here on Death Curse Society.
So stay tuned, everybody. Watch the social media. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. I'm sorry I can't make it, but I'll be tuned in all weekend with these guys, and I can't wait. And Zigzag gets a little tour of Cincinnati with the Colonel too. That'll be nice. That might be a nice little behind the scenes kind of video too. You showing
The cameras are rolling, man. We'd love to come and have, the people of Cincinnati come and fuck it up with us, show us what's up around there. Colonel's a homeboy right from the neighborhood. It's going to be crazy, man. I can't wait. It's like tomorrow. Holy shit.
Colonel's so excited he put a little trailer together. Check this out. And then we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more Death Curse Society. Stay tuned.
I'll be right back. Don't get dressed.
Oh, fantastic. Holy.
Death Curse Society. Invades. HorrorHound Weekend, Cincinnati, March 15th to the 17th. The guest lineup includes Cassandra ages like a fine wine Peterson, Jefferson Winker #1 Hall, Rion Winker #2 Reeves, James Jude Mike Courtney, Nev Wish My Name Was Bruce Campbell, Feruza I'm Flying Paul, Dick Roy motherfucking Burns Wyan, Brad got your wig split Greenwood, Miko fuck you, your name is Gage Hughes, Denise Queen of the Mom Cut Crosby, Tom the Legend Atkins, Christopher Don't Call Me Doc Lloyd, Christina I Give Her a White Snake Moon Ricci. Follow Death Curse Society on the following social media platforms for exclusive content all weekend long.
Do you like Death Curse Society?
Support the DCS by advertising with us. We have several different ways to advertise. Sponsor a segment or a complete show, 30 or 60-second commercials, product placements or service discussion, banner ads with links on our interactive website, full website page sponsorships, get Facebook and Twitter mentions from our host or special guests, special shout-outs on our YouTube channel, and more. You can even advertise regionally through our website and keep your costs down, or ask about our package deals to save even more. Visit our website at deathcursesociety.com and click on the advertising sponsorship link under contact on the main menu. Thanks.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for Death Curse Society. We appreciate you all watching out there in YouTube world. We don't have a question to answer this time around, so keep that in mind. Send us your questions next time, and we'll answer them right here live on the show. Ziggy, send them out.
Hey, special thanks to Filmora for all the video magic that is provided by their service. Right here you see, makes us look good, and coming soon, Filmora 9 to make us look even better.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you, Filmora. Colonel.
Hey, be sure to check out our website, deathcursesociety.com. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We got you covered everywhere, folks.
Ooh, absolutely. Molly.
Woo! All right. So you DCS, why don't you just show it off? Crane's got one. Look at that sexy son of a bitch. All right. Yeah, we got everything you need. Just follow this link right here. Woo! We got small for you little guys all the way up to your 5X big old sizzling bacon Canadian style guy. Woo! You know what I'm saying? DCS. What?
He's such a salesman, guys. That's Molly right there. Next episode will be March 28th. And guess what, guys? We're so excited. We finally get to talk about the movie Us. Jordan Peele's Us drops in theaters right before that. So we're going to be talking about it on the next episode. And we're also going to bring you a little bit more exclusive footage from HorrorHound from these guys. It's going to be a fun episode, so stay tuned for that. I'm Red Crank for the Colonel, for Zigzag, and for Molly Michael. We're saying peace out. We'll see you next time.
Out. Stay cursed, baby.
I'm a sexy and I know it. No, and Molly just went to sleep. All right. That was good.
Little dose of moly goes a long way. Hashtag.
Hashtag put that dick in your mouth.
How do you write that? It's like right. It looked like you were having a stroke there for a minute.
No. Well, yeah, I stopped and nobody said anything, so I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
You pulled a Luke Perry.
Oh man.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Hopefully the audio sticks with me this time. If not, I can just we
could hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the microphone's working. It's just
heard that, Heard. I want
credits. Credit scene.
I love it. Cold-blooded.
The secrets of television right here, folks.
I looked up right when it bonked him.
I should have warned you, but it would have been like, no.
I seen it coming. I heard it. I was accepting my fate and just went with it. So, okay.
Beautiful. Well, at least we have our credit scene now.